Welcome back to Regen Rovers. Today it's episode 67 and it's the 7th season review. As always, I'm going to turn the camera off, mainly so you don't have to see my tears of pain because of the end of this season. I know it was a very disappointing end to the season and some of you will be angry and upset at the behaviour of the players towards the end of the season in those few games. It was pretty awful, wasn't it? But overall, it has been a successful season. An incredible first season in League 2. When you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, we were not expected to finish 4th in the league, were we? At all. We were expected to finish bottom, as usual. We're always expected to finish bottom. 650 to 1. I swear it was 550 to 1. Somehow it's changed to 650 to 1. Anyway, we were expected to finish bottom. And we finished 4th in a playoff place. We were so close to automatic promotion. So close. And we just couldn't quite do it in the end, could we? But that is football for you. That is Football Manager for you in particular. We will continue a little while in this episode to see who wins the playoffs and see who gets relegated and a few other things. But we'll start off, as usual, by looking at the overall best 11 of the team. So this is, throughout history, the best 11 players and the substitutes to have played for Regen Rovers. So it's actually a familiar looking back four with Sevzelis in goal, of course. 195 appearances for the club now and a 7.01 average rating. It's very impressive for a keeper. Our three centre-backs, Walker, Bai and Lofts, they're all approaching 200 appearances. Well, particularly Danny Bai and Charlie Lofts. Danny Bai over the series has been sensational. When I changed the defence over the last few games, it didn't quite work out for him. He picked up a couple injuries as well. So it's not been the greatest season for him this year. But as a club, of course, it's been a great season, especially going forwards. Sheriff is still in that team because, for whatever reason, the formation has still got the defensive midfielder in there. So it's stuck Gareth Sheriff in there. I think he only made one appearance for the under-23s this season. Halcroft's still on the right-hand side instead of Tim Green. Warren's on the left. Dion Mills and Marlowe in the middle. Dion Mills, of course, has been let go by the club after some awful behaviour for him. He hasn't retired yet, but he hasn't found a club. And Jack Young and Spencer Drury are the two players up there. Jack Young is still the overall top goal scorer for Regen Rovers. He's now got 84 goals. Can he get to 100? I hope so. 236 appearances as well, so that's a record. I think someone like Sevzelis will overtake him probably next season, actually, yeah. On the bench, Grant Waugh, Simmons, Brady Chick, Chris Holmes, Bradley Berry, Adam Fox, who's still in the under-23s, and Lee Orford is broken into the team now after a very impressive season. Moving on then, end of season awards. Of course, it had to be Lee Orford that won Player of the Season. I'm surprised it was only 47%. I think Danny Bai got a high percentage because he is a favoured personnel player. 27%. Lee Sevzelis third with 16%. As always, please let me know in the comment section below who was your player of the season this year. I think most of you probably would say Lee Orford. Maybe Patrick Dibber. A lot of you seem to like him. He actually scored goal of the season, so let's have a look at that. It was his goal against Oldham Athletic. He has been brilliant in central midfield, to be fair. I remember it now. It's a cracking strike. Look at that. Brilliant volley. Bottom right-hand corner. Mohamed Garba, signing of the season. He's had an okay start to his Regen Rovers career. Not spectacular. Scored a couple free kicks. 3 assists as well. A couple man of the match performances. He's improving as a player and should be an important player going forwards. Young player of the season, Lee Orford. Team of the year then for us. You can see Sevzelis in goal, Walker, Bai, Lofts, Tyler, Green, Dibber, Garba, Palmer, Orford and Drury. I wouldn't argue with that. The game's decided Garba had a better season than Christian Marlowe. I suppose he had a better average rating. Waugh was on the bench because he made one start. Holmes, Marlowe, Uda, Jack Young, Warren and Mohamed. Now Uda, remember he got injured severely. Has he been offered another contract by Millwall? No. So there's an opportunity here for us to perhaps sign him. Maybe we can jump the gun and just see if they'd accept £0 for him. No. But he might reject the contract from Millwall, or he might not even be offered a contract. I would like to sign Larry Uda because he was great for us for a short time. Mohamed also, he's picked up a pretty bad injury, but actually did very well for us in the few games he did play. That's the season review then. Pretty successful season. You can see the FA Cup run was the thing that this season really will be remembered by. It was a phenomenal cup run to the 4th round. We beat Coventry, we beat Preston, we somehow dismantled Swansea City 2-1, but Watford were just a bit too much for us in the end. It's quite obvious the two games that feature here. Match of the season, 4-0 win against Portsmouth. What a performance. I mean, the defence were fantastic. The whole team were brilliant in this game. I couldn't quite believe the result. However, moment to forget, of course. This is where it went wrong. If we hadn't lost this game, would have been promoted. But also, if we hadn't lost it this badly, maybe would have had a bit more confidence in the playoffs and wouldn't have lost 4-2 in that first game. You can see Paul Mullin, 4 assists and 3 goals. He completely murdered us in this game. It was a pathetic performance. Anyway, let's forget about that. That's history now. Average attendance, pretty decent from you guys turning up this season. 2,295 was the average attendance, 43% full stadium. We had some good days where the stadium was full, of course, against Swansea City in the FA Cup. Where are we? That was the first time the stadium's been completely sold out, so that was brilliant. And last day of the season, 2-1 win against Stevenage in the playoff semi-final. It wasn't quite enough, but a lot of you turned up for that as well, so that was great to see. The Regen Rovers side of 2017, where are they now? I think we had a look at this last year and there won't be any changes to that. Oh, this is the season after, isn't it? So we've got Isaac Aqua in there. Of course, he's playing for Sheriff YC, so he's still around. Richard Wilson retired from football, played a few games for us. Alfie Doddington has retired now after leaving Grays Athletic. Has Owusu found a club? Nope, he's retired as well. In fact, pretty much everyone has retired. Chris Breach is still around though at Farnborough. End of season team meeting. Now this is always the trickiest thing, because what are the club expecting next year? Are they expecting to have another relegation battle? Shall we go for mid-table? Because I don't think they're expecting too much. I'm going to go for mid-table, and that is what they expect. If I'd gone for anything more, then there'd have been way too much pressure on them. And this approach has worked pretty much every season, hasn't it? I will be looking to improve the team, of course. I'm always looking to improve the team. I think defensively, actually, it does need to be improved. Unless the likes of JJ can step up. The under-23s is looking much smaller now, isn't it? Which will please most of you, I think. Adam Fox is still around. Maybe. Can he develop? Probably not. He's not ginger anymore. He's gone proper brown. He's dyed his hair. JJ, there's some potential there. He's only 20. Obviously, Olakunle's never going to be a good player, but we love him for his fish and chip shop. I mean, it's still a young squad. The oldest players are Grant Bourne, Jack Young, and they're 24. We've got a few 23-year-olds, but the majority of the squad are 22 or under. And it's still a baby team, really. Imagine if this was real life. I know someone commented on a video. If this was real life, the media would be going crazy because it's such a young squad. We're in League 2, almost getting promoted from League 2. Just heartbreak at the end. Every story has heartbreak and sad bits, and this story is no exception. We've unfortunately not been able to get promoted this season. Anyway, let's look at the players, have a bit of an analytical session. So you can see here, Lee Orford, top goal scorer, 17 goals. Couple of injuries got in the way of him making 20 goals this season. So Jack Young's 22 goal a season record still stands. We do like to share the goals around, don't we? So we're not going to have someone scoring 30 goals a season until perhaps we start playing one up front one day, maybe. Craig Palmer got 16, Spencer Drury got 13, Brady Chick 7, Jack Young managed to get 6 goals. Much better than last season. Mohammed got 5, Dibber Scott got 2, Berry got 3, Tyler and Garber got 2, and then Tim Green, Marlowe and Danny By with 1 goal each. Assist wise, Orford top of that as well, 18 assists. That is a record. Chris Scott, ignore that because that's actually for the under 23s. I'm not sure why that's showing up, as is Bradley Berry's. Wait, can we get that to vanish? No. Yeah, he obviously didn't get 15 assists in the first team. So Lee Orford got 18. Then it was Flynn Tyler and Craig Palmer with 10 each, and Spencer Drury got 8. Tim Green, not so many this year, but 6 assists is still decent. Man of the match performance, Orford, brilliant. And average rating wise, of course, Lee Orford out in the lead, 7.25. think an equal record with Danny By. Sivzelis 7.02, the only other player to get over a 7. It was another good season for him, despite conceding quite a few goals towards the end of the season. Of course, he wasn't in goal for the 7-1 drubbing. That was good old Grant Waugh, letting 7 goals in, of course. But Sivzelis actually did play very well in the last game. If we just have a look, he got a 7.4 rating, making up for the 6.3 he got in the previous game. And if it wasn't for him, we probably would have conceded a couple more in that playoff semi-final second leg. Brady Chick also very impressive when he was able to play, 6.98. Craig Palmer and Mohamed also got over 6.9s, as did Patrick Dibber with a 6.95. Good season for him. Danny By, the first ever season he's dropped below 6.9, probably first ever season he's dropped below a 7, but that's my fault really for messing around with the defence. That could be a reason why we flopped, to be honest. Of course, I changed the defence. A few people have been suggesting I should, and I changed it for, was it the Oxford United game, and we started to pick up clean sheets. And then suddenly against Stevenage we conceded 2, but after that it wasn't too bad. We conceded 3 against Accrington, a couple against Hartlepool, but it was no different to previously, I don't think. I mean, we conceded 4 against Stockport, 3 against Barnet, 5 against Watford. But there was less clean sheets in there. We got one against Scunthorpe on the last day of the season, but that was the only clean sheet in a number of games since the Northampton game. So I've changed the defensive line back to what it was, and I think although Danny By makes the odd mistake and he scores the odd own goal, I think overall he is our best defender, and he's going to have to go into the middle there because he's Danny By. We can't ruin his career now. He's been brilliant for us. He's our captain. He's improving as a player. He's a good all-round defender, as you can see there. He can play midfield as well. So he's a good all-round player. Sorry if you can hear a weird beeping noise. I think that's a lorry turning in the road. We've got a couple of contracts expiring. Oh, only one actually. Chris Scott. I don't know whether to keep him. He's 23. He's got some good poacher attributes. Finishing off the board. Very decent indeed. His first touch is alright. I don't know whether to release him or not. Last season he was great. 14 goals, of course. This season, 4 goals. Quite a few goals for the lots of goals for the under 23s. Maybe I should give him another chance. But we've got so many strikers. But then we're playing 3 up front, so we need lots of strikers. Flynn Tyler's contract is expiring at Ipswich. And if it does expire and they don't give him a new one, then I have to go for him. Because he was brilliant for us this year. Physically, he's very good. I'm trying to improve some of his technical attributes as well. I think his technical attributes let him down against Watford. They completely murdered him, didn't they, down that right-hand side? And he just felt the full force of Zaha in particular. Everyone else has at least 1 year left on their contract. I will probably have to give certain players, I will try and extend that contract. There's a few players that have got 2 years left on their contract. Sivzelis, Jack Young, Marlowe and Craig Palmer. Value-wise, most expensive player is Mohamed Garba. His value has dropped slightly, but yeah, he's our highest paid player. I have high hopes for him next season. Under 23s then, which have a quick look, you can see the top goal scorer was Chris Scott with 16 goals. He got 15 assists as well, so very good season from him in the under 23s, alongside Bradley Berry with 15 goals and 12 assists, which is why I feel like I should keep them both, because of course Bradley Berry did score a couple goals towards the end of the season, and they obviously have talent. They're just maybe not quite good enough for the first team to be regulars anyway. I think I'll let Darren Miller go. I think his Regen Rovers career is over. I can't see him ever doing anything for us in the future, so I'll let his contract run out and then just release him. And this is my budget for next year. So the wage budget has gone up significantly. Interesting. We're currently paying £13,647 a week. They've given me a much smaller transfer budget than usual, but the wage budget is massive. 29. They obviously have put full trust in me now, expecting us to do well, and they're putting money behind the team, so we can offer bigger wages and should be able to attract better players. And considering this team finished 4th, surely there's no reason why we can't finish higher. I don't want to break up this team, but I feel that there's certain positions I can improve. I think I'll try and get a really good centre-back. One that's so much better than the players we have, and pay them like £1,000 a week or something. Possibly, I mean, I've got loads of strikers, but possibly if there is a really top quality striker available, Maybe Uda will be the one that I'll have to pay £1,000 a week to come. He's not that different to what we have. But if there is someone that is way better than what we have, then I will pay, because we've got the money to do so. Financially, you can see it's not great. It's gone up. It's suddenly gone down again towards the end of the season, probably because we'll have to pay loads of money for certain things, won't we? But we obviously got a lot of money from the FA Cup run, so I don't know if that's the reason why we've got a bigger wage budget. I am going to request something. We need to improve. I can't improve the facilities, which is a bit annoying. Relay pitch. That's probably important, isn't it? That might be the reason why we're getting injuries. The pitch hasn't been relayed. They can't relay it though, apparently. Is it time to develop a 4-4-2 tactic? Maybe instead of talking about regeneration or regen offensive, maybe I should have a 4-4-2 available to me. Because we know what we're like coming up against 4-4-2s. I'll come up with some sort of 4-4-2. It will be different to just a bog standard one, but I kind of think we need a different option in there. I know we don't really have any we don't have any wide midfielders or wingers. Maybe I should try and find a winger. Look, Paddy Murray won the Young Player of the Year award for the Danks Bank Premiership, despite spending half the season at Regen Rovers. He's obviously a good player. Look at him, he's solid. I think I can turn him into a decent... If I can improve his tackling, then I think I'll be a great ball-winning midfielder, or just maybe a normal central midfielder even. That's our commercial summary. Sponsorship has gone up. Corporate and hospitality has gone up. Competition prize money has gone down. But I don't think we've actually got any prize money yet from the league. Surely we should get more prize money. We got further in the FA Cup and we're in a better division, so that might not be finalised yet. Man City won the FA Cup convincingly against my team, West Ham United. Although in this parallel universe, maybe I don't support West Ham. Although, I tell a lie, because that's actually on my manager profile. Let's just have a look at my profile. You can see that I actually am training for the Continental A licence, by the way. Things have gone up over the years. Games-wise, 354 games I've played now as manager. Scored 508 goals and conceded 461, so still a plus goal difference. I've only won one less game than I've drawn now, so I've caught up that way. 37% win percentage. And my achievements, winners of the Vanarama National League South, and winners of the playoffs in the Vanarama National League. And we'll just have a look at the club details so you can see we're a half-star regional reputation team with basic youth facilities and training facilities. Our key player is Reece Walker, apparently. Maybe I should... Well, he wants to stay at the club now, doesn't he? So I probably should keep him. Hot prospect is Craig Palmer. And if we look here, favoured personnel, Jack Young, Danny Byte, me, and Lee Orford. No one's managed to get onto the Icons or Legends list yet. It's basically players that win Fans Player of the Year that get onto the favoured personnel list, really. Our old chairman, Eddie Mitchell, has gone off that list now. Team of the Year, Siv Zellis gets into the League 2 Team of the Year. Brilliant news for him. He was the best goalkeeper this season. And Stevenage promoted to League 1. So I don't feel so bad now. We lost against the playoff final winners. That's okay. How many people turned up to Wembley? 51,000. Big attendance for a League 2 playoff final, I think. So that's the final standings for League 2. We scored 78 goals this season, which was the most in the league. Wow, that's some achievement. And defensively, we were mid-table. That's the problem this year, defensively. I guess conceding 7 goals didn't help. We went from around here to there by conceding those 7 goals against Morecambe. Either I need to change the tactics defensively or change the personnel. I'll have a think over pre-season. So let's have a look. We'll just go down first of all to have a look to see who's been promoted. Bury and AFC Fylde have gone up to League 2. Dagenham and Redbridge, Gainsborough, Sutton and Dorchester has gone back down. National League North, Southport and Harrogate Town promoted, and the South, Aldershot and Dover Athletic. Okay, up we go to League 1, which hasn't been played yet. But all I want to see is who's been relegated to our division. It's Port Vale, Wimbledon, Blackpool and Crewe Alexandra. So some big teams in there. Blackpool, they've had their financial difficulties in recent years, but they're a strong team. Wimbledon will be tough. Don't know much about Port Vale. I've always liked the name of Port Vale for some reason. Don't really know why. I just thought it was different. When you look down the list of teams in the Football League, Port Vale just stands out. It's different. And Crewe Alexandra, I've always liked them as well because of their youth. And they could be tough, but they seem to float between League 1 and 2, don't they, these days? Going up to the Championship, Everton and Bristol City are promoted, Exeter, Colchester and Swindon Town relegated. And then the Premier League was won by Man United this year, Derby, Fulham and Watford relegated. So that's it for today's episode. Thank you for watching. Please smash that like button if you're looking forward to an 8th season of Regen Rovers. Hopefully we can gain promotion to League 1. Maybe going up to League 1 would have been a little bit too soon, considering it is another tough league. This league's tough, but League 1 is another step up, and there's 4 teams that can go down. So if we'd gone up, it would have been a lot easier to get relegated again than this division with only 2 teams going down. But thank you for watching this 7th season of Regen Rovers. Overall, I'm very happy with the season. Finishing 4th is a marvellous achievement. We just let ourselves down in the last few games. That's it. We can improve upon that. The team's young. They're not completely experienced yet. There's a lot of experience in the team, but they're young players. They will sometimes just break down, I guess, at crucial times. Until next time, guys, enjoy Football Manager 2017.